Oh my god. That's so obnoxious. I don't know what I'm supposed to do against, like, just the YOLO, like, drop kicks there. Why? I'm not even close to you! Like that, like, what is that? I hate that. That's so dumb! Oh my god, that's so dumb! I need to figure that out. What are you doing against that sweep? GG's. Hey everyone, Remy here. Is this you? Do you want to improve your movement and spacing, but you're not sure what to do differently? Stop being stuck with this 5-step process I follow to refine my distance management and adjust my movement for a matchup. And I'm going to show you how it works by going over how I used it with a character I was learning a while back, Chip. Step 1. Record your matches. Ideally, while you're playing, record your games with a program like OBS, but if that's not possible, you can save your replays and watch them later. It's important to be able to go back and watch your matches, because you can't remember and notice everything that happens while you're playing. You need footage of your gameplay so you can review your matches and really notice what you're doing that's working, and most importantly, what's not working. When I was learning Chip, I made sure to record my matches in stream while entering tournaments so I can go back and troubleshoot spacing issues. Step 2. Figure out which character you're losing the most to. Your spacing and movement must be different from matchup to matchup. Your spacing might be good against Sol because you're familiar with the range of his moves, but you might struggle a lot against a character like Mei who fights at different ranges. That's why, when you want to improve your spacing, you need to also focus on a specific character you want to improve your spacing against. In my situation, I struggled the most with Leo when I was learning Chip. In fact, in an NLBC, I lost very convincingly to 2 different Leos. That's why I was focusing on improving my spacing with Chip specifically against Leo. Step 3. Describe how you're often getting hit against that character, specifically. By specific, I mean you need to break down the who, what, when, where, and why. Who is the character that you're focusing on? What move or sequence of moves are you getting hit by? What are you doing when you get hit by this? I like to think of this as the when. Where are you on the screen relative to your opponent when you're getting hit? Why are you getting hit when that's happening? What were you trying to accomplish and why did it fail? Because spacing and movement is so specific, you need to describe the problem specifically as well in order to come up with a solution later. My issue with Leo as Chip was that I was getting hit by dash 5k or 2D, or if the move whiffs, the flash kick that comes after. This usually happens when I'm walking backwards or backdashing to stay out of Leo's far slash and far heavy slash range. I'm getting hit because I'm not blocking low, or I'm in the middle of my backdash. Or when I go to punish a whiff move, I get hit by flash kick because I'm too far out to hit them before they recover. This is because my strategy in this matchup as Chip is to stand just outside of Leo's longest reaching moves and whiff punish them with far slash or dash up 2k. While this works against Leo players who don't push forward, against more experienced players, I leave an opening for dash moves that either hit me or scare me into giving up so much space that I can't whiff punish, and I'm pushed even further into the corner. Now that I have a very specific description of my issue, I can try to come up with a specific solution. Step 4. Go into training mode and experiment with potential solutions. Don't be worried about coming up with the perfect answer, or even a solution that works at all at this stage. You just want to brainstorm some ideas for things you can do differently that will avoid you getting hit by the same moves in the same situation. A good question to ask yourself is, where would I want to be to avoid getting hit by that move, or to be in a better position to prevent them from using it? In the case with my Chip, I would need to stand closer to Leo to avoid giving him the space to push me into the corner with his dash, and to be closer when he misses a button so I can whiff punish him. If I stand closer though, I would need to deal with his 5k and 2D. I was standing at the tip of his far slash and heavy far slash to avoid these moves. It's not a good idea to use 2k or far slash preemptively to challenge these moves, because on most timings, my move gets counter hit. The answer that I came to was to use 6p. Because 6P is upper body invincible, and both 5K and 2D hit the upper body, if I use this move preemptively, it's very likely that I beat out any attempt on their 5K and 2D on most timings we ram these moves into each other. I want to stress again that at this step, it doesn't matter if your solution is correct or not, and actually wasn't the correct move or spacing I should be standing at to solve my problem. The important thing right now is to at least try to solve the problem that you identified earlier. This leads into the next step of our process. Step 5, test your solution. Play against as many people who use that character and try out your answer. You need to check how well your spacing adjustment actually works. Is it really beating the sequence you're losing to? Does playing at this distance open you up to other things you lose to? You can ask a friend who uses that character, or try hunting for that character in the tower. If it seems to work, that's awesome. What's more likely, at least in my experience, is that your first solution doesn't work as well as you may want it to, and you're going to need to refine it. In my case, I played against my friend, Timo MVC, who plays a very strong Leo. What I found was that Chip's 6P isn't very fast, doesn't have a lot of range, and has a lot of recovery on whiff. It also doesn't have a high reward on hit compared to what Leo gets off his 5K and 2D. What this means is that while I can counterpoke a few 5Ks and 2Ds, it only takes one of these to connect for the round to snowball in the Leo's favor. If your solution isn't perfect, you need to refine it further and go back to step 3, specifically describing how you're getting hit now, or step 4, thinking of different spots you can be on the screen and what moves you can use at those spots to stop it from happening. After playing around in training mode on stream and getting a little bit of help from Bean, the best chip in North America, I found that the best solution was to actually be right outside of Leo's 5K range and to press my 5K preemptively. Chip's 5K is really fast and has a great hitbox that lingers for a long time. This means that on a very lenient range of timings, Chip's 5K will beat Leo's 5K in 2D. Once I establish that and scare them from pressing those buttons, it makes it easier for me to run up to Leo and start my own pressure. In my next tournament, I beat a Leo by doing my best to stay outside the range of their 5K and using my own preemptively. Of course, my execution of this plan wasn't perfect. I was still backdashing way too much and staying way too far away in a lot of times. But against this Leo and other Leos I've tested this solution against, I was able to take better control of the spacing in the matchup when I was executing the game plan properly. One more thing I want to add is that this is a starting point by identifying issues you're struggling with now. You're going to have to do this multiple times for the same character as you play against different or better players who show you different problems. And then you're going to have to play at multiple different distances depending on how your opponent is switching their options and what they prefer. So those are the 5 steps that I use to refine my spacing in a matchup. I hope that helped, and if you have any questions, feel free to comment in the video below, or come check out my stream in the video description. This is Remy, signing off.